Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 2 of season 5 of Uncaged. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me, as always, is my boy, the one, the only, DC himself, Daniel Crimmins. How you doing?
Mago, we are doing fantastic today. It is freezing cold in Western New York. Rob, you are a lucky, lucky man out there in California. And folks, we have a guest. And you know what? Our special guest deserves a special introduction. So I'm going to channel my inner greatest manager of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Daniel Crimmins, and I am a member of Kicking It with the TSK, and I want to introduce our guest for tonight. He is part of Kicking It with the TSK. He is part of Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling. He is the TSK Tribal Chief. He is Robert Davis.
All right. I like
Acknowledge him.
I've already got my fists, my ones in the air, man. I got everything up in here. What's up, Roberto?
Good Lord, what an intro.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And to go off what Daniel just said about Robert being the tribal chief of the TSK, we acknowledge you, Roberto Davis. If there's anybody best to discuss this topic with us tonight, it's a fellow artist in his own right, being Robert Davis. Folks, we're going to talk about what makes a great theme song. And first and foremost, it ain't what Def Rebel's been putting out. For fuck's sake.
Good Lord.
No, it is not.
I think they've had maybe, one or two good ones?
Yeah, I mean, like the Roman Reigns new one is not bad. The new Tribal Chief one's not bad. That I could deal with that, but I mean, like, just what I think you both can concur with me on this. Yeah. What's great about professional wrestling is the theme song. Like, you knew when Sexy Boy hit, Shawn Michaels was coming out. You knew when that riff hit, that Bret the Hitman Hart was coming out. There's a lot today's day and age is missing, and it goes with the Def Rebel stuff, man. But a theme song is so important within the presentation.
Absolutely.
And Roberto, I think you could concur with me on this with what we're talking about with music. We'll start into some of the best ones. We'll get into the worst ones. But for you, Roberto Davis, what are some of your favorite theme songs that really stuck out with you that we've gotten to see from the beginning of time within professional wrestling?
Good Lord. I mean, basically anything from the early 90s. Stone Cold's theme, absolutely iconic. The Rock, when, that first note hits. The Undertaker. Just the composition of the way everything is put together so well. I've got over 25 years of musical experience. I play 4 different instruments. I've got music out there in the world of YouTube and Spotify and whatnot. But just a lot of the early 90s stuff was just so good. Shawn Michaels, when that opening riff hit, you knew what was coming.
I'm right there with you, too. I think what you have with the style and eclecticness of what made the 90s, I mean, we went from the new gen era to the attitude era and everything combined within that 90s regime. I'll go to mine last, but Dan, give me some of your favorites of the music scene from the professional wrestling.
Like Robert says, sometimes you hear the opening tune, like Ultimate Warrior, may have been a horrible person, but
theme song was pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You got guys like Mick Foley. Like, you hear that car crash, it's him.
Mm-hmm. Any of Mick Foley's themes, to be honest. Cactus Jack.
Yeah. Dude, love.
Like, you hear that opening note, who's coming out.
Oh, absolutely. Like, even before, we'll say that guy who shall not be named, name might be Vicente.
Yes.
Fernandez. That's what.
No chance in hell. When that opening guitar riff hits, you knew.
Yes.
A lot of great themes.
DX.
Oh, yeah.
Now, which version? The original Break It Down or the Run DMC version that came out after that? I think both, because Run DMC got that mainstream thing with that. We do it hardcore. We do it hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
We do it hard. Yeah, like that, really goes into it. I mean, you had Uncle Cracker with X-Pac doing the X Factor with Albert. Mm-hmm. Incredible. You dealing with the X Factor.
Of all people, though, Uncle Cracker.
I know. I mean, I think in the interview with Van Vliet, like he wanted like something different, but it's like they gave him Uncle Kraken. It's like, all right. Yeah. So he took it and he ran with it.
Did Kid Rock charge too much?
I mean, Kid Rock was still busy doing the Undertaker's American Badass. Yeah.
But even that was a sample of Metallica.
So. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I think for me, and I'll go on my thing. So as I've mentioned many a times, like as someone who grew up in the 90s and the 2000s, so I didn't start watching wrestling in 2002. So for me, the influx of pop culture, like you gave me Trust Company Downfall, which was the theme of Vengeance 2002. You give me like Cold, The Suffocate, and The Remedy from their Year of the Spider album.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You give me like the Creed and the Desire videos and everything that we saw within the WWE at that time.
Just don't let Jim Ross hear it.
Oh no! God damn! I got to hear this goddamn Creed all the fucking time.
Creed all the goddamn time.
But dude, for me, it's like it's stuff that makes you the packages and everything. Like, and I'll say it right now, still one of my favorites to this day. Robert and I have done it on the show. Dan, you and I have talked about it. The Hardy Boys. When you heard that Zach Tempest loaded, that one of my favorites because you knew Jeff was going to come out and do the dance. You knew they're going to throw up the Hardy Boy side and that hooks you. It's such a good thing. And I have to mention this as well. This is current day, and we'll get into more of the themes, but I sent it to you, Dan, and I sent it to you, Rob. Guys, Our Lady Peace, after 20-plus years, and I know it's a touchy song because who the theme was for, the fact that they played Whatever at their recent concert after 20-plus years. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think they more than deserve that because, I mean, given the person that it was for and everything that, went down, it's still their song. And, mad respect for them for keeping it out of the set for so long. But, they owe it to themselves and their fans to take that song back for them.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar to, with Paul McCartney not wanting to do Helter Skelter for so long, the guy that stole that, it's as an artist, I think it's good to see them doing that song because it's a kick-ass song. Whatever, it's a great theme song.
Again, it goes back to riffs for me because once you hear that, and I mean, and I'll say it, Benoit did have that original with the original theme he had, but it was very generic. But once they upped it off that Forcible Entry CD with Our Lady Peace, and especially when they did Not Enough for Jeff Hardy and those Desire videos, what I like about it too as well is you include, again, the pop culture realm and you have everything nice synergy. And the Jim Johnstons, who is an absolute genius and who should be in that doggone Hall of Fame. We'll say that to her blue in the face.
Mike, I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the iconic Lemmy Kilmister. Three iconic songs for WWE. All three of them great.
God rest his soul. I mean, Triple H, the Game, King of Kings, and just everything that came with it. Like, I love me some Motorhead, man.
It's all about the game. How you play it. Yeah.
The King of Kings, and I have to say this about Motorhead and everything that we got to see with Triple H. Everybody craps on it, but I will say the one time he used it, and no, it's not, it's my time. It's my time. I love that one. But everybody craps on it. It's like, really? You're coming out at WrestleMania 18 and you have Drowning Pool singing that from Forcible Entry? I'm like, but it's flipping Drowning Pool. Like, you can't go wrong with some Drowning Pool. It wasn't
the OG Drowning Pool.
The OG Drowning Pool, yes. Like, Drowning Pool, like around that time, they did Step Up for WrestleMania 20. Of course, we'll even mention Paul Heyman because for a time, ECW, let the bodies hit the floor. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like that stuff right there. And I mean, I've touched upon it with you guys and Dazzy. It's like that new metal type of vibe. It just had it. And I mean, I'll add this to my question. And Robert, I'll start with you. So we're mixing and everything from the mixed bag of music side. Robert, I'll ask you, with what we have with today's day in mainstream music, right? We see it from the Weekends, the Flow Riders, how we had Jelly Roll for SummerSlam. Do you kind of miss the fact that we used to have like all those new metal bands, like we mentioned, like the Colds, like the Creeds, like, just where we had Limp Bizkit, we had Fuel, we had everything from Stain. We had so many people in the influx here that now it's mostly just what we see on like the pop side of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I think, the pop side and the hip hop and all that stuff, that definitely has a place in wrestling too.
Yeah.
But the influx of the hard rock and the metal has definitely been lacking. And I know she gets a lot of crap for it, but I don't care because I think she's fantastic. But Poppy, a couple years ago, was a great addition. I think she's doing some of the best work of her career. Being a fan of her pop stuff and her metal stuff, I think it's great. Bring her back, Triple H.
Bring her back. Yeah, give me
anybody but Def Rebel.
Oh, we mentioned so many times Def Rebel's terrible, but I'll actually on the Robert side, bro. If you give me some more baby metal, like we had Karate with Asuka during that takeover, I'll be happy with that too. DC, my man Daniel Crimmins, give me some of your favorites. What are your thoughts about the influx of like the build with the pay-per-views instead of like the pop stuff? What are your thoughts on that?
I thought it was freaking awesome, and you know what? I gotta think of the Aleister Black, Malachi Black, his original theme
with Code Orange.
Oh yes. Yeah. Every single song that Code Orange has done for WWE has been incredible. You had Shattered. You had Let Me In.
Mm-hmm.
God rest his soul, Bray Wyatt. I mean, even before that, like, just the whole Fireflies, catching flies in his mouth. Like, once you heard that riff, you knew trouble was coming with the Wyatt.
And that was the stock theme.
It was, but it was so good. Like, I'll even go to you, like CFOs. Like, I'll give one that's very underrated. If you watch the original NXT Black and Gold, when Sami Callihan was Solomon Crow for that short time, that song Mass Appeal was a great doggone song. I mean, you could talk about Kevin Owens' theme from NXT. You could talk about, just Neville's when he had Left for Tomorrow with Faceless. Like, they had so many things there on that original Black.
Glorious.
Oh, God.
You know what? CFOs were fantastic. This group of musicians were actually musicians. Can't say that about Def Rebel.
No.
Only one of them. Yeah, I think only one of them is an actual musician. Graduate from Berkeley, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Probably one of the most prestigious music schools in our country. And the nonsense you put out, brother.
You know what that reminds me of? And I'm going to make a pop culture reference if we're talking about music. I feel like I'm in 21 and 22 Jump Street. Eric, I was supposed to go to Berkeley. Is that what you're telling me right here, Robert Davis? Berkeley over there? Huh?
That's the one.
Yeah. So I will say this. Some of the great musicians that we mentioned, like Lemmy and The Undertaker, I'm going to say right now with The Undertaker, when you heard the gong, Johnny Cash, the Ain't No Grave Can Hold My Body Down for the WrestleMania he did with Triple H, WrestleMania 27. My God, like having him just have the influx of Johnny Cash. We mentioned Limp Bizkit and Rollin' and that You're Gonna Pay song that was on the anthology, but my God, Johnny Cash is another one that sticks out.
Yep. And I know we talked about the lack of hard rock and heavy metal. Special shout out to Motionless in White for doing Rhea Ripley's theme.
Oof. Okay.
And, that one, absolute banger.
Oh yeah, and Kerry King from Slayer doing Damian Priest's new one.
All rise.
Yeah, I finally got to hear that. By the way, that's actually really good.
Well, that's my thing too. You have that and the influx. Like I also like Motionless in White, and I'll bring up Rhea Ripley's theme because when she came out with like the girl, the lead singer who sang that original song, that was good. But this one just adds another like layer to how the evolution of Rhea Bloody Ripley is without her WWE tenure thus far. And I think one that sticks out in my head, and I got to mention him because of the ECW frame and the WWE tenure. I got to go Breaking Point, one of a kind for
Rob Van Dam.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That Paul Heyman, man, he really gave no fucks because he's using all this licensed music and not paying for it.
Yep, Pantera Walk for Rob.
Yeah. Using all this music and not paying for it.
And Enter Sandman
by Metallica, yes, which is still one of the greatest entrances. One Night Stand 05 with Sandman coming through the crowd. Oof.
Keep him away from a zombie.
Oh God, God rest his soul. And I know Tim Larson has passed on. He was the guy who was the zombie on that ECW on Sci-Fi. But God, still one of the worst.
That poor man.
But keeping on the ECW train here, Sabu, the Magic Carpet Ride or whatever the hell it was called. That was still really fun, and that was just written by, I forget the dude's name, but he was pretty pissed at Mikey Ruckus, who does the work for AEW, because he's, you basically ripped off my song. He was like, well, no, I just wanted to keep it, genuine to what you originally did. There was a whole Twitter beef on that. Taz had a great theme song too.
Yep. I mean, beat me if you can, survive if I let you. I mean, to go on to Daniel's point and both your points, Robert, I think one of my favorites, just because of the Inni Kamos, Here Come the Hot Stepper for Public Enemy, also sticks out in my head. That's Paul Heyman used that.
Let's not forget AC/DC with Big Balls.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. I think one that also sticks out in my mind as well. Like for me, like I love everything that they did from the ECW music, but also how can you go wrong with some Too Cold Scorpio just doing it up in there? Too Cold Scorpio coming out, New Jack, like the gang, you know, the gangsters and everything. Oh, they had a nice
Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers, yes. Oh, I think probably, and I'll even say this because we mentioned like we'll even get into some indie stuff here. Like ECW, like when they came back, like if you remember the sci-fi themes, like you had, of course, Drowning Pool at the Bodies at the Floor. You had Marilyn Manson for a short time with This Is the New Shit, and then you had the Don't Question My Heart by Saliva. Not bad theme songs, but it's unfortunate that they were catered to the new ECW on sci-fi because you know, an ECW on sci-fi, but those are very good in their own right.
Oh, and who could forget Tommy Dreamer and Alice in Chains, Man in the Box?
Are you buried in your shit?
I forgot he used that for a while.
He did. He used some Man in the Box, and it was good. Like, that's the thing. The time period that we're talking about, the influx of timeless hits that really stand the test of time. For the indie side of things, I will mention this. When I went first to my first Ring of Honor show, and you're hearing Christopher Daniels come out to Disposable Teens by Marilyn Manson, like that right there is just like, bro. Like Marilyn Manson, of course, with the beautiful people for SmackDown. But like, what are some of your guys' favorite indie themes? And Dan, I'll start with you on this because an indie fan in your own right. What are some of your favorite themes that were on the indies?
You know, Shark Boy coming out to the Jaws theme. Absolutely classic.
Yeah, that was always good.
Bryan Danielson, you know, doing Final Countdown.
Yep.
Which I still would love to know how much Tony Khan has paid for that over the bit.
Well over $1 million. It's a license. Oh man, depending on the license,
because those guys aren't cheap.
No,
not at all.
No.
I mean,
sure.
that's really the only song they're known for. But damn it, they're gonna.
Hold on, man. They also had Carrie. They had a ballad, Carrie. No, Daniel. No on Carrie.
Oh, you forget WWE had Slipknot on NXT for a brief spell.
That they did, yes, that's true. I mean, if you look at NXT, like their theme songs, like they had some good stuff. I mean, did you like the "We Are Wild and Young and We Have Just Begun" from that? No,
the Nexus theme.
The next, "We Are One" by 12 Stones, who also did "Broken" for Judgment Day 2007. Yeah, and of course, Evanescence, Amy Lee, "Bring Me to Life." Yes.
Yeah. I you know, and you know that's all Triple H picking that stuff.
like, dude, what does Def Rebel have on you? Like,
you know what it is too, and the thing that always gets me, besides like how much the theme songs are now compared to what they were back in the day, I always go back to the fact of this. Like one of my other favorite theme songs that really stuck out. I even go back to the Generation era, like when Ted DiBiase's $1 Million, you know, Money, like that came out. Ted DiBiase, $1 Million Man, Everybody's Got a Price. We mentioned Taker and DX and Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Mankind. We mentioned. I'm trying to think another one that really stuck out. And I'll say this, even though he's doing his thing now in politics, and he's not my favorite person in the world. But when Kane came out to Slow Chemical by Finger 11, holy hell, man! It's one of my favorite versions of Kane in that song.
And they hate the association with WWE in that song.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
like, you literally wrote the song for them.
Yep.
But yet it appeared in the Punisher soundtrack.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
To kind of go back to the indies, I think the big one for me when I first seen it was Nick Gage coming out to For Whom the Bell Tolls.
I like that. Okay. All right.
That one was something else because that's not a short song. It's a very long song, and he uses the entire song for his entrance. That Nick Gage entrance, though, that's something special right there. And that's, I think, a pretty fitting song for Mr. Gage.
All right, I'll make you guys laugh on this one. So when I first started watching Ring of Honor and going to the events on Long Island, Claudio Castagnoli, so good old Claudio, when he first started in Ring of Honor, his theme song was actually a sample of Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel and Jermaine Dupri, Monica, and Nas, I Got to Have It from the Big Mama's House soundtrack. So that was Claudio's theme. Personal Jesus by Austin Aries sticks out in my mind. Of course, I know we're going to mention him, CM Punk with CM Punk with the others, not Cult of Personality, the other one that was really good. That
was
it
Killswitch Engage?
No, that was WWE.
No, the Ring of Honor was Missouri.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, AFI.
Yeah, AFI. That one sticks out in my head. Of course, Colt Cabana coming out to the Copacabana by Barry Manilow also is another one that sticks in my head.
And how about, and he's had this theme since his indie days, MJF.
Yep.
Which is a royalty-free theme, which I just love.
It's still good, though. It's flipping awesome, and it suits him to the T for what that character and who he is. I mean, I'll even make one funnier. Like, when Brian Myers and Brett Matthews, a.k.a. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, first started in New York Wrestling Connection, NYWC, they came out to the Backstreet Boys, It's Gotta Be You off the Millennium album, which that was a Zack Ryder call, because Zack Ryder loves
Good Lord. But that's so fitting for them.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the thing, man. Like, a lot of the royalty-free music, and I mean, for me, it's like when, what's his face? Like, I'll give you another one, like, BJ Whitmer, I'm gonna take everybody back. BJ Whitmer and Jimmy Jacobs, they came out to flipping Velvet Revolver. So there goes the water. There goes the wash away the skins of you and I. Little Guitar Hero action.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think that's the great part. I mean, we're mentioning a lot of rock stuff that gets people hyped. Now, there are a lot of good ones that get you hyped. Even the Raw themes like Across the Nation and even SmackDown, like, Rise Up by Drowning Pool. There's so many influxes there. But on the other side of the coin, we did have some worse ones. And I will start with Daniel Crimmins on this because I know we mentioned a mixed bag of the musical art form that we all love. But you, Daniel Crimmins, what are some of your worst ones?
You can't even really call it music, but Kevin Nash's first Diesel theme. Literally. No, even before that.
Oh, okay, that one.
Before that, it was just like
that's like Isaac Yankem with just the drill. That
or Duke the Dumpster Drozy, which is literally just the sounds of a trash compactor.
Or TL Hopper with the plunger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. Now, Roberto Davis, I'll go. Oh, wait, hold on. I got one before I get to you, Roberto. Oh, my sweet Bertha Faye. Harvey Whippleman and Bertha Faye. Bertha Faye. Oh, okay. Roberto, go ahead.
You know what? There isn't too many of the old school ones that I really dislike. I didn't mind them at all. Although those ones that Dan did bring up, those were pretty bad. But just a lot of what's been going on the last couple of years after CFOs took off. You can tell just the quality just dipped severely.
I think for me, one that sticks out that I hated, of course, and I'll go on the female side of things, like Brie Mode. When I mean, they broke off from You Can Look But You Can't Touch, and then here's Brie Bella coming out to Brie Mode because it's based off her getting drunk on Total Divas, and just her yelling Brie Mode is like nails on a chalkboard. I mean, even nails on a chalkboard. Dean Douglas, Shea Douglas was in the WWF for that brief time. His theme was terrible. I mean, even if you want to.
But so is his character. So.
Oh, that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, he doesn't like talking about that.
No, I mean, even if you go back, like, people would crap on Dusty's theme, but I'm like, he's just a common man working hard for the man, and he got it over. Like,
yeah,
I can't think of too many people that could get black trunks with yellow polka dots over.
Well, when you have the personality and the charisma of Dusty Rhodes, you can get anything over it.
Yeah, and I mean, to this day, I don't know if it's a fact or not, that had to be somebody ribbing Dusty and said, "Here, this is what you're gonna wear now."
It was a Vince call.
Well, I figured.
I think one that really stuck out for me just because of the character, but it is so cheesy now. I'll take everybody back to 2005. The old Rob Conway, Just Look at Me. Yeah. Ain't I a sight to see?
You know that had to piss off Buff Bagwell.
The whole damn world wants to look like me, but they don't. So just look at me. Yes, it was very much a copycat of the Buff the Stuff Bagwell from that was Rob Conway, the con man, if you will. I mean, if you even look at like some of the worst themes too, like I mean, Los Pericuas. I mean, it was fine for what it was, but Los Pericuas, that song was kind of but it fit the Los Pericuas character with everything that we had with Savio Vega and everybody that was in that group. The Nation of Domination as well fit, even though it was very on point with what they were doing at the time. I think really good.
You talk about wrestlers that hated their theme song.
Yeah.
Big Show.
Well, it's the Big Show.
He hates his last theme he didn't mind, but he said the initial one he hated.
Well, he said he wanted like something like bluesy, but like that's not what he wanted, like at all. Like that's not what he wanted at all. I mean, the version that they did after that when he was the ECW champion, like the remix version that was on the Reckless Intent CD, that was not bad. It wasn't, but well, it's the Big Show. I mean, there's a lot that really stand the test of time too. Like, I'll even say this because as a TNA fan, like when Monty Brown came into the WWE as Marcus Corvan, and he came out to like that smooth jazz, you're going down, down, down. Just call me smooth. Like, this is not the music I pictured for the alpha male Marcus Corvan, but okay.
No.
Sure.
I mean, if you want to talk about TNA, I guess one that really kind of gets under my skin. Wee woo, wee woo.
My world.
I'm the man, my mark. I'm talking my world.
I remember when the AEW was here and Dynamite was here in LA, and that went off. Like I wanted to get up and walk out of my seat because I was just like, Lord.
That song is terrible. Jeff Jarrett has had that since his inception in TNA, but God almighty, that song 20 plus years later still sucks.
I mean, TNA did have a couple good ones.
I mean, the Abyss one was very good, and especially the Decay.
Well, both of them.
Yeah,
Black Hole was good. Well, except for that brief period when he used American Made, Hogan's WCW theme.
God, he was Hogan's brain. He's American Made. All right, now I noticed the face because Robert is legit over there. Just like his soul is like crushed.
Only because you brought it up. Decay. Hey. Whoever runs music at TNA, please give Rosemary her theme back.
It's not Dale Oliver anymore, right? I think that's done.
I don't think it is either. I'm not even sure who it is, but please, for the
give her her theme back, please.
Of all things unholy, give her theme back.
Dude, yeah.
I'll even say it, and I know she's a very controversial person, but Obsolete Sweet by Rebby Hardy. It worked for Matt.
No, it did.
I'm not even gonna crack
that song. Like it's a shame. Like, and she's even said, she offered it to WWE for when he was woken Matt Hardy, and they
didn't want it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to understand, this is also the same time when Vince didn't get the broken character. I'm like, what the hell did you get? What the hell's not to get?
Oh. Neither did our buddy Anthony Khan.
How about you?
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Why are you broken, man? Why are you flying? Teleportation. But no, it's
why do you have a drone? I want a drone.
What's going on here, Matt?
What's a premonition?
But, I mean, so another one that sticks out, and we'll go to the Hardys for this. Like Jeff Hardy, when he came out for No More Words, do you realize how many people clamored for that song to come back after he went solo? It's just, and I'll mention this because again, Robert's gonna like shrug and again, like his soul is about to be crushed. But they brought that Steve song back on the night that Karrion Kross debuted on WWE as the NXT champion. He got some seconds. See?
Yeah,
I know. The night that they bring that song back is one of the worst nights in Karrion Kross's career.
Boy.
And he lost in like 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
That's that bullshit right there.
Bullshit right there. Oh, but no, it's like that too. I think one of the worst ones I do remember as well. All right, I'm going to say it because he's on NXT now, and I'm very entertained by the Robert Stone character. But when Robbie E came in with Cookie and TNA, and he came out to get your fist pumping in the air, and the fist pumping like he's freaking Jersey Shore.
It worked for him.
It did, but it was the shit. It was so bad. And the bromance theme was not anything better.
Let's not forget Billy and Chuck's theme.
You look so good to me. It's still a great song, very catchy. Like
you want bad. Linda McMahon's theme. The old WrestleMania theme song.
Yes, that's a terrible song.
Like they couldn't even come up with a song for it. There's the hair. We're just gonna throw this in the CD player.
I mean, Stephanie McMahon's theme song, I freaking was I'm all grown up now, and I listen and learn. I mean, the Queendom is all right, but I still remember I'm all grown up now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hi guys, hi guys. So Chris Jericho, like when he came in with the original Break the Walls Down, there was a time like briefly he had King of My World by Saliva. That was not bad. Don't You Wish You Were Me, which was off originals that he sang. He's had a lot of great songs. Are y'all feeling this new Learning Tree one that he has now? I am the Learning Tree. No, Dan.
No.
No.
I think that's a Fozzy song.
It's a Fozzy song.
Is it a Fozzy song? Yeah. That's unfortunate.
It is, because he's had so many great Fozzy songs, like To Kill a Stranger that they did off the Happenstance album, Enemy, which was the theme
Judas.
of No Way.
Yeah,
Judas.
Judas.
Yes, of course.
Judas was great. This song, what the fuck is this? Get it together, Chris.
Come on, Chris. Oh.
No, Chris.
I am the Learning Tree. Oh.
You know, you talk, I just remember this. You talk great indie themes. How about the Briscoes using Give Me Back My Bullets?
Oh, God rest the soul, Jay. We love you, Jay. But yeah, that one sticks out.
It fit them perfectly.
Yeah, it did.
Absolutely did. Oh, my goodness. Now, I'm also trying to think of, I think one that really sticks out in my head, and one that I actually did like that was very, very underrated. And I'm going to go back to TNA for a second. And I got to make a mention because, two, I love this tag team, America's Most Wanted. We find the defendants guilty. And, of course, sorry about yo damn look. James Storm, man.
James Storm.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Braden Walker.
I'm going to knock your brains out. Oh, poor Chris Harris.
You know, let's give some honorable mentions to the most blatant song ripoff of all time.
What's that?
Self High Five DDP, who wanted it to keep it in WWE, but Dave Grohl found out about that and was not happy.
Oh God, what the smell?
Basically told him, like, dude, change the song.
Yeah. Oh God, if y'all want to think of WCW theme, American males. Like, oh God. Oh, I mean, even if you go back to friggin' Start a Line and A Man Called Sting, he's a man called Sting.
West Texas Rednecks. You had Kurt Hennig stinging.
Rap is crap.
I
hate rap. Oh, I think, of course, you have to mention when you think of one of the great songs, NWO.
Another stock theme.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Razor Ramon. That car, like you mentioned, Car Crasher Mick. That gave us Scott Hall. That's another one. Do you remember when Scott Hall? Because we mentioned ECW. So his one ECW appearance, he came out to the Fugees, Ready or Not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Not
here.
You're just thinking, like, of all the songs you picked, like,
that's still a great song, the Fugees. Man.
Oh, it is, but for him though, like,
and he came out grooving to it, just like going to be Scott Hall walking out to the Fugees.
Was that the first time he came out with the bandana too?
I think it might have been.
He did in WCW a couple times.
He did it in WCW a couple times.
Okay.
Towards the end when they tried to bring him back, and
yeah. I mean, do I dare even mention, because again, we mentioned boy bands earlier, 3 Count, Shannon Moore, Evan Courageous, and Shane Helms coming out to 1, 2, 3, 3 Count. I can't get you out of my heart. Like, freaking, they made him a boy band.
That doesn't surprise me for Shane Helms for some reason.
No.
He looks like a closet boy band fan.
Shannon Moore.
Yeah.
Well, looking at him now, like,
no. Well, I mean, bro, here's what we're gonna do. My daughter was listening to the Backstreet Boys Millennium album. So, bro, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a boy band. And then, bro, we're gonna bring in Tank Abbott, and he's gonna be their number one groupie, bro. This badass MMA fighter. We're gonna have him be the groupie of 3 Count, bro.
And let's also remember that they blatantly ripped off Black Sabbath's Iron Man. And not right. Well. Not
at all.
No. Like, literally, it's the same riff, but just reversed. Like, you just flip it.
I mean, I'll give you another one that sticks out of my mind. Deuce and Domino, when they came out to the 50s, like, that fit the 50s greasers character. But yeah, you had the son of Jimmy Snuka being a greaser with Domino, Cliff Compton. Like, come on, man.
Man, I completely forgot about that.
Deuce and Domino, man. And Sherry. Oh, the beautiful Miss Sherry, yes. This was also around the time, and Dan mentioned it perfectly, dude, and I got to go back to your point. Like, some of the stars that hated their themes. First of all, Mercy Drive, Burning My Life by Randy Orton is a classic, and Randy Orton hates it.
Absolutely hates it.
He hates it, and it's a great song. Like, it fit Randy for the transition out of Evolution. He hated even worse when he got This Fire Burns for One Night, and of course, then that would go on to be CM Punk's theme. Fit more for Punk than Randy Orton. What were your guys' thoughts on that? Like, for like a week. It didn't fit for me.
Not at all.
I was like, I even remember like he came out to that, and I'm like, what the hell happened to Burning My Life? Because I'm like, Randy Orton is not the type of like, yeah, burn it now. Like,
he's not a heavy metal guy.
Like, not at all.
Not at all. I mean, we got Rev Theory Voices, and that has still become a classic to this day.
Thank God nobody's touched his music. He's had the same
beat for a
while. Did they really?
Yeah, they tried.
So there was a story. Death Rebel wrote something for Randy Orton.
Yeah,
and they presented it to Randy and Hunter, and I guess Randy didn't even get through the whole song, and just said absolutely not.
There you go, Randy.
Thank you, Randall.
Thank you.
Like, absolutely refused. So that's got to be bad.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to see a lot of them. Like, a lot of them are tied to the music. The women have made a mention of it as well. Like, that's the thing too. And I mean, I'm going to go on to this one just because you mentioned Randall K. He had a certain influential tag team partner back in the day by the name of Edge, Adam Copeland, Whatever you want. I'm not going to call it Cope.
I can't cope with that name.
I cope with this.
I would just like to say I'm glad that Daniel mentioned that, because shout out to Mama Lark. Mom, I love you. Mom, my mom said the same thing. She can't cope with Cope. And I thought that was hilarious. So,
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. I digress, but I look at it like this. So I was a fan of the Brood theme, that Edge and Christian have a Gangrel as well as the Hardys.
Oh yeah.
I liked Rob Zombie, Never Gonna Stop. I thought that fit well. Hey, Magarango, number 95. Like that. I love that one.
He's just a shit director.
Don't get him, Dan. Dan hates the
Halloween. So that's another show for another time.
That's another show. Dan hates the Halloween themes. It's so great. But no, that's the other thing. Like Rob Zombie, that song. And of course, we got Metalingus from Alter Bridge, which has become a timeless classic. They were singing it in Australia at Grand Slam. Oh, it's good.
Clear as day, too. It was cool.
If you think about it, he also brought in The Other Side, also by Alter Bridge.
Yes, for Judgment Day.
For Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Which they don't use anymore.
Which they should.
That new theme sucks so bad.
Sucks.
Okay, I'm gonna go on the sidebar here. Like, what the fuck happened? Finn Balor had one of the coolest damn songs ever. Down for the Demon and him, and now he just comes out. You barely know what the fuck the song is.
Well, then Death Rebel, the initial one they did for him, it was a slowed down version of that. Yeah. And it worked.
It did.
It was like this weird, like, gothic remix, and
it was kind of cool. Like, it wasn't bad.
Well, yeah, because Finn was coming out in the bondage mask too, so there was
the one that he borrowed from Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Good Lord! But it did kind of work. But now it's just like when he came out at Royal Rumble, it was like,
who is this?
Who the fuck is this?
You can tell he doesn't like it.
No, they don't. And well, that's the problem with it. With today's theme music, like we compare it to like back in the day, and we talk about who we knew. If you looked at that Royal Rumble, because this is present in clear as day, folks, your people are looking at it like they're excited for who's counting down, but then the music hit, it's like, who is this? like you saw that, like who is this? What song is this? Oh,
you know, and granted, a lot of us don't watch every week. We don't know the themes, but there's plenty of casuals on Twitter the next day that were like, I watched all the WWE episodes and I still have no idea who the fuck's coming out.
Right.
That's insane.
That's a problem. That is a huge problem. That's what we have now, man. And I mean, I'll make another point to what.
Thank God for Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I mean, one of my favorites now, and I'll say it because we're going to put it up. It's just me who's day one-ish. Like, that's probably the best one right now for me. I mean, Seth's Burn It Down is another classic one for me. Like, that really sticks out. Mm-hmm. But the Shield theme is also another great one. I mean, even if you look at Moxley when he was just Dean Ambrose, that like that was still cool, that instrumental. But it's not the same compared to, like, I'll even make another mention here. Like when Sean O'Hare came out to Waterproof Blonde, come on! And then Christian had Just Close Your Eyes by Waterproof Blonde, and then Story of the Year for when he came back for ECW. Like, that was really, really cool. And Christian had At Last, the friggin' opera. Christian! Like, that even hits. Kurt Angle is another one that sticks out. Once you heard that, you knew who's coming out. But, man, like, yeah. Go ahead, Dan.
You know, and honestly, and again, it was another stock theme, but it freaking worked for him. Umaga.
Okay. That's another good one. I like the Umaga theme. Of course, we were remiss if we didn't mention John Cena. Like, here's what's funny about that. John Cena, when he first came in, rookie shorts, the roll-up king as he was known, and y'all remember that haircut when he came out with Kurt Angle with the Ruthless Aggression. Goodness gracious.
High and tight, baby.
Can you say 2000?
You know he wishes he still had that hair.
And that big-ass bald spot he's got now. We love it.
We all do.
Oh, we love it. But his first theme, he came out to that, and then he had that friggin', of course, Word Life. This is basic thugonomics, and the time is now. The man's had classic hits.
Do you remember Bryan Danielson's first WWE theme before Ride of the Valkyries?
Oh, that generic,
like dumb shit rock theme.
Oh God!
Well, like, he only used it like a handful of times, but like he begged for Ride of the Valkyries.
I mean, that's a classic one just because with Daniel Bryan and what we have with his team. But yeah, I remember. Robert, do you remember when he came back with the Nexus and he had that hard rock theme that was so bad?
That one was pretty bad. I wasn't watching WWE around that time, but
you
weren't missing much.
No, doesn't sound like I was. But kind of going back and watching clips and listening to some of the, I'm just like, God damn.
It was bad. They loved them generic rock themes, and it did not fit Daniel Bryan at all. They were cheap, and it did not fit Daniel Bryan at all.
Like this had to be in between when Jim Johnston left and CFOs took over, and I'm just like, good Lord, what had happened?
But like we talk about CFOs and some of the great ones I had. The Bludgeon Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
And
Nakamura.
Luke Harper's.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Harper and Rowan, they did have a different theme that they only used it once. And what it was literally an instrumental version of He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. But like the hand accordion?
Yes.
It was with that.
Okay.
They only used it like on a Raw, and then like the next week, it switched to Swamp Gas.
I remember Swamp Gas.
Literally, that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to CFOs, I mean, of course, we got to bring up Fandango because he was just on NXT. Fandango.
Say it right, Michael.
Go. That sticks out just because that theme, everybody's going nuts and doing this. Like, everybody loves that.
Good Lord. When he came out on NXT, people were losing their shit.
Well, we haven't seen him on NXT in like 4 years. People were happy to see him.
I wasn't paying attention. I thought he came back. I didn't realize he was JDC still.
Yeah, he's still. So it was a nice little nod. I like that. Yeah.
I mean, we know eventually WWE is going to buy TNA.
You know it's coming.
It's going to happen.
if the snowman didn't want it,
I'll pay you. But that's the thing too, guys. I mean, if you really look at the annals of music history, and I mean, we mentioned a lot of the classics. All right, I'm going to put this out there because he's a YouTuber. This one also popped into my mind. Maven. Yeah, we're going to talk about Maven. Like that.
Which was also Mercy Drive.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
The original song was what, Memory, and then they did another one called Tattoo or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like the guitarist, I think, the like Mercy Drive said Split, and then it's...
Yeah, but Maven, I mean, I don't want to say go fuck yourself, Maven, because I like you, but the fact that you don't like that doggone song, like, come on now, dude, that everybody still loves that song. Everybody loves the riff. It was good.
It was good.
And you piss on it.
So go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself, Maven. I mean, Raven and his, all right, we'll go to the Raven. Well, quote the Raven, nevermore. That crow.
His WCW theme was good, though, which I think that was a ripoff of Even Flow mixed with Come As You Are, I think.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not even talking about the TNA one. Do you remember like the one that he had towards the end of WWE that this will be the end of everything by Neurotica?
Stereo Mud, wasn't it?
Wasn't that Neurotica.
Neurotica. Yeah.
God, that was terrible.
Well, you didn't like You Will Not Waste My Time. No? Okay.
You have Raven wrestling in a freaking dress.
Oh God, the freaking his little like trash bag thing that he had. God, the SmackDown Shut Your Mouth model when you got the game and there's Raven in this fucking trash bag. Oh my God.
Oh, Raven in a dress.
Raven in a dress. And then friggin' remember like his last match before he went to TNA against Jeff Hardy, the Rumble qualifier, and he has like short hair and he's wrestling in tights, and it's like, what the fuck happened to Raven? He just like gave up at the end. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go out in the tights.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, no, that I mean, if you even look at it like some of my other, like Dolph Ziggler, and I'll say this because Nick Nemeth is one of the top priorities right now in TNA. It's the top superstars. Like, I Am Perfection and Here to Show the World. Like, Downstate is another one. We got to give some love to Downstate because they gave some good themes. Like Came to Play by The Miz, and of course, and of course, whoa, Cody Rhodes,
Zack Ryder.
Where are my bros at? Oh, radio. Yes.
They even did one for Alex Riley.
Yeah.
See, that one is very underrated. Say it to my face.
Before he pissed off Cena and
that whole debacle.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, if I really think of one for the women, actually, we went through a lot of the stars in the tag teams. Like, I'll say right now, Too Cool theme. Everybody wanted to hit We Look Fly Today. Like, the Usos, like, we could be here all day with the tag teams of Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart Gunn back in the day. But there's so many great teams. Of course, all right, for the Dudley Boys, did you like We're Coming Down, or did you like Saliva? Get the tables like a family in here. We just a little disabled. Or Power Man 5000, drop the bombshell. Which
I was a fan of the Power Man 5000.
Watch out. All right, well, which one for you, Daniel? Saliva, Power Man 5000?
Gotta be Saliva.
Oh, okay. It's like
which, also loved I Walk Alone, where Batista give me what I want.
Yes.
Yeah. That theme still goes hard. Probably the best clip is Xavier Woods singing it outside of WrestleMania.
I love this song. God, I love this song.
Yeah. He's singing it and he does the
I love that clip of Batista getting ready backstage and that fan runs up and does the whole, and Batista just look at him like,
oh my goodness. All right. You mentioned someone who didn't like their theme, and he is now currently in AEW. Silk the Shocker for MVP, I'm Coming. He hated that fucking song. And I love that song. Silk the Shocker, classic. Make him say on the na with Master P. He did not like Silk the Shocker. And it was a good theme. It fit him very well for the character.
Yeah, it did fit the character, but I can see MVP not being too big on Silk the Shocker.
That is very true. It's very true. Silk the Shocker. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah.
Make him say,
no. We mentioned Evolution, Line in the Sand still. Again, Lemmy, God rest your soul. But bro, like I think one that really I always did like, and I will say this of current time, like besides like everything that we've seen, like I have always enjoyed, man, this one sticks out for me just because I think it's just such a great theme. And we'll even talk about it now. Like Obafemi's theme is really, really good. That walk and everything that he's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my goodness gracious, like God, if I had to really pick a one out that I really still like to this day, like you could give me people like Randy Orton voices, like we mentioned earlier, but like that Rev Theory, that the fact that he still got to keep his theme, and like Rev Theory also did Light It Up for WrestleMania. They did Give Me a Hell, Give Me a Yeah. Like that stuff really sticks. Like you can't beat it.
To kind of go over to the AEW side of things,
yeah.
Adam Cole, like
know what's all about the
boom, Adam Cole, baby. You know, he's had some pretty consistent themes that were good. You know, Undisputed Era in NXT, fantastic. I forgot what he used to come out to in Ring of Honor.
Oh, I've got something for you.
That's right. I didn't mind that at all.
No. I mean, for AEW now, and I'm glad you brought this up, Roberto, as I'm thinking this now in my mind and letting you marinate. I do like Orange Cassidy, Jane, and of course the other one who, what the hell's the name of the other one?
Where is my mind?
Pixies.
Thank you. I like the Pixies and I like Jane. I think no one that also sticks out for me. I do, of course, Kenny Omega. I hear the battle cry.
Yeah, the new one he just got done is really cool too, and I like that he's only using that for pay-per-views. It seems.
Well, that's how you have to look at it. It's like how with Finn Balor, like when he would go for the demon for like the big specials, you never got the demon, everything. So go ahead, Dan. What were some of your
when Mox brought out Wild Thing, you know,
you make my heart say
was a slight to. I know he's a big Onita fan.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess there were plans at one point to do Onita versus Mox, which,
well, yeah,
fuck, Mox would have been bleeding within 2 seconds.
Yeah, and it would have been fantastic. But Ricky Starks had a really cool theme too.
The Revolution is televised.
Yeah, a nice little jazzy nod to his New Orleans. You know, bringing
over, and I'm going to say this to the IWC: y'all need to stop. Ricky Saints. First of all, I was worried, but I don't hate it. No. I don't hate it at all.
It's fine.
It makes sense. He's from New Orleans Saints.
He could be Trill London. Come on.
I can't believe that freaking list, bro. Oh God. Oh, but no, I think for the AEW side too. And I'm gonna say this right now. I did like both of Mox's themes, the Wild Thing and his original one that he came out to. I think, well, of course, now we do. I like Judas, like you mentioned, the Kenny Omegas, the Young Bucks, of course. Super Kick Pate is another one that sticks out for me. Daniel, how about
which is cool because their dad wrote it. Like
Super Kick Pate.
How many people can say, you know, my dad wrote my theme?
Sure, and of course, Be Elite. Elite. How about you, Daniel? Some of your favorites.
And it's not even an AEW theme, but Bullet Club.
Bullet Club for life.
Yeah.
You man and shot it with my gun.
Kubrick, they do some themes in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Shout out to them.
Yes.
There's themes for GOD.
Yes, the GOD one is very good. Los Ingobernables de Japón is very good. Okada, still, I love like the Rainmaker theme is still one of my favorites.
Still glad he gets to use it.
Same dude. I'm trying to think of, okay, now did you like Brown Best Friends? Like that one was another OG one for AEW. That one was not bad.
No, that one was fine. I thought that was pretty good. Sting, you know, Sting has had so many songs throughout his career. But
Metallica.
I think this Seek and Destroy was fantastic. This one that Mikey Rekus did for him on his last run, I thought it was really cool. It encapsulated a lot of epic emotion, and I think it was thought out very well. He actually, on Twitter, we don't call it X.
Fuck you, Elon.
Yeah. He actually showed, you know, how many tracks. He broke down how he composed all of it. And, you know, if you're into that kind of thing, which I am, I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
Dare I even say, like, well, his WWE thing, I will say, was not bad for the years
No.
there. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Darby Allin, I love that theme song. God damn it. Like, damn it.
It fits him so well.
It does. Darby, please don't. I'm going to say this right now. Please don't die. Like, I know we got friggin' Mount Everest coming up. Please.
Yeah. Don't
die. Please. Don't die.
No.
Hurry up and come back so we can get the title off Mox and be done with it. I'm over it at this point.
So what you're saying is you're over Neo Nox Mox and the Romper Stomper Gang, Dan?
The Romper Stomper Gang.
So, I mean, if you man, the ladies' side, I mean, of course, like the big one now, everybody, even though it might be piped in, CEO, fucker.
That little sample of Gunther's music. Don't think we didn't hear it.
I'll
pay you. But no, like the theme songs in AEW, there has not been one that I've really hated. And I mean, we're mentioning a lot of these, but there's not been ones that I've been like, oh, this fucking sucks, except for the Learning Tree.
Yeah. And shout out to them for not changing music every 6 months. I know there's been a couple.
Yeah.
But God damn. And I believe Jim Johnson even said this. I had said this on another podcast. I don't know which one it was. But you have to allow the music to get over just like you would, the person coming out to the music. And to have these constant change, I can't think of a time in, the probably 30 years that I've been watching wrestling that I've seen so many people change their fucking theme. It's not something that happened very much in the 90s. And honestly, I think the only time it ever did happen is when somebody was going from face to heel or heel to face. But God damn, like some of these guys already have 4 or 5, theme songs, and they've only been in WWE 2-3 years. Like, fuck.
I mean, I think Triple H has had like 4 or 5 in his entire 30-year career.
The Aristocratic one, Symphony Number 9, the DX, It's My Time, the game, King of Kings, and of course Evolution. It's like 5 to 7. That makes sense. I mean, I'll even say this, like Matt Hardy for me, like when he broke away from the Hardys, like in 2002, like when he came out to Monster Magnet, like Live for the Moment, I Can Slam a Tornado, like that fit him so well.
The
Matt Fax and the era of Mattitude, yeah. But that time period, yeah, it's like things that suit people instead of it being changed 5 times over. And is there any other one on the AEW one that sticks out to you guys? Like, Will Ospreay, Elevated, Get Me to the Stars, whoa, like that one sticks out for me. Everybody, all right, I'll mention it because Robert's here. We got to talk about Everybody Dies. Everybody Dies. Can I just say the Don Callis one annoys the piss out of me? That.
But I think that's the desired effect because it annoys that.
Because it's Don Callis.
Yeah, because it's Don Callis. And you car salesman looking bastard.
Gotta give credit to a nod to Mr. Brody Lee.
Yes.
And the Dark Order theme. Those 2 themes.
Join the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Agreed wholeheartedly.
Lucha Brothers theme was pretty sick too.
Yes.
Cero. Miedo.
It's a shame that Penta couldn't have taken that theme with him.
I mean, the one he's got now was actually not bad. The entrance and the presentation is good.
It could be, yeah.
Worse.
The theme could be so much worse. But...
It could be very much worse, yes.
Could be the LWO theme.
Oh, it could be.
It had to bring up the LWO. Brought up the LWO. I mean, even look at Rey Mysterio. We mentioned some of the best ones. Like, I got to tell you, when he came into WWE and who's that jumping out the sky? REY Mysterio. Here we go. Booyaka Booyaka, which has become his theme for many years, the POD song.
Keep that one, Ray. There you go.
Yeah. What about Bow Wow Wow, Yippee Yo, Yippee Yay, Viva La Raza all day, every day. Friggin' the Filthy Animals, Conan, Ray, and the whole 9 of them.
Yeah,
thank you, Conan.
Conan.
Vinci Conan.
Vinci Conan. Oh, he gave us, it's the remix, 3 Live Crew, and we still getting rowdy with friggin' BG James, Road Dogg, Conan, Ron the Truth Killings. Yes.
My goodness.
Goodness gracious. Now, I will say one of the women that I really hated, and it was meant to be hated, but when Jillian Hall came out singing her own theme song, You Know You Want Me, You Know You Can't Take Your Eyes Off Me, that's because she was so good at playing her part. The Dicks, yeah, we're going John friggin' Tank Tolan and Chadwick when they came out with their Chippendale, that oh God. Dan, is there any other bad ones that stick out in your head?
Just because her theme was terrible. I'll even say the Godwins.
Oh God, the Godwins.
The Godwins.
God. Or I'll do another one.
Okay.
Big Daddy V Viscera, calling all cars.
Calling all cars. What that Striker ECW? I you know what? That's a good one because I remember when he came out and attacked the Boogeyman, and then you hear calling all cars. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, well, no. Even if you want to go back, like the world's largest
love machine,
Viscera,
and you had that storyline with Lillian Garcia.
When friggin' Lillian was like, they were going to get married in Las Vegas, and then The Godfather came out, and then Viscera's like, all aboard the Ho train. He's gots to have it.
I gots to have it.
Oh, God.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
Mm.
But no, I think we mentioned a lot of the great themes, and I'm going to say this Disturbed. Stone Cold Steve Austin never had a bad song with the Glass Shatters. Disturbed.
He did have some bad ones.
Well, I mean, the Ringmaster, of course.
His Alliance themes, like he had a series, like after he got rid of Disturbed, he had like some generic.
Oh, that walk, Yeah, I remember that one. That's true.
I must have missed that one, and it kind of sounds.
Rob, it's terrible. It
was like towards the end of the Invasion. He had that I'm like, what?
It was like some techno house music kind of thing.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That's unfortunate.
It was. But I will say this, folks, as you look at the annals of history with professional wrestling, we gave you some of the hype themes like Saliva and Drowning Pool for all the pay-per-views. And of course, we have like the stuff that we got now with Demi Lovato and the Pit Bulls and the Weekends and whatnot. But everything in wrestling serves its purpose within the characters and presentation. And that's the beauty, not only of professional wrestling, but that's the beauty of music on a whole, my friends.
Music is very important.
Yeah.
The universal language that we all speak, no matter where we're at in the world.
Hell to the yeah. But I will say this, not only do these two look so good to me, I'm only kidding with that. I could not tear my eyes away. It's still a good song. I mean, you want to rag on it, but goddamn it. The only thing I'll rag on is goddamn Rico with friggin' the Maximum Male Models and your creative freedom, Mansoor. Got to get that in. Fuck you, Mansoor. So with that,
it's Mansoor.
Mansoor. Marseille. I can't friggin' bringing in Rico to friggin' just get famouser after 24. I remember that angle 24 years later. I'll pay you, Rico. And like here comes 63-year-old Rico taking a fucking famouser. God damn it. But anyway, I digress. So that theme still fucking rules. I don't care. One other mention I have to mention since you mentioned the Road Dogg and Jeff Jarrett, who Robert with My World over here and same with Dan, with myself. We all hate that song. But how can we not mention spend my days working hard on the go, got my hand on the clock and spinning too slow because I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight. It was good. It was catchy, but yeah, he lip synced that song. It was sung by the one and only Jesse James.
But since we're kind of going back to the annals of time here, William Regal. He's a man.
Such a man.
He rags on that theme.
Yeah, it's cheesy as hell, but he made it work.
Okay.
I think he made it work.
The Kurt Hennig theme is still also one of my favorites. Mr. Perfect still stands out the test of time. Ravishing Rick Rude. Then he friggin', the Sweat Hogs and friggin' Rude Awakening. Oh, dude.
The hips.
The hips don't lie, my friend.
Can't do that.
No, I cannot. It hurts. But that's the beauty of it. And I will say this: we mentioned the pay-per-view themes. TNA had one theme that I really did enjoy, like the Adrenaline Rush, and especially what we have now, Across the Line, as their theme. But they had Endwell, which was a band back in the mid-2000s. They had 4-letter words, and I'm Frozen and You're Dead as theme song for pay-per-views. Like, they had some good ones in their own right for pay-per-views.
Definitely.
Daniel, any other one that really sticks out for you?
You know, not really a pay-per-view theme, but Kurt Angle's TNA theme was really good.
I'm focused. Let up. And ran up. And level it up. Yep, I remember the rapping one.
And, of course, AJ Styles.
Get ready to fly. Who you are, I am. Oh, okay. Now, you guys do remember, because Daniel brought up a good one. You know who actually sang Kurt Angle's theme song?
Oh, I don't know.
So, for those that don't remember, Kurt Angle's theme song, like we mentioned the rap and how iconic it was, the man who sang it was a guy by the name of Mark Predka, a.k.a. the Trademark, who was John Cena's cousin.
Didn't know that.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
That is very cool. Mark Predka, the Trademark, sang Kurt Angle's theme song in TNA. Yes. But I will say this. Out of everything that we mentioned, and music and everything, there will always be timeless classics. There will be CFOs. There will always be revolutionary themes, timeless themes like Tony Storm, and evolutionary themes. But I will say this. I think the best way to close it out, besides the fact of these many annals of time with men and women and tag teams that we love so much, fuck you, Def Rebel. That's the best way to go with that. Big fuck you right here, Def Rebel. Double birds for Def Rebel. Get us some good music, much like the ones that we mentioned today, including William Regal, Lord William Regal, and He's a Man, Such a Man.
He's a real man's man.
He's a real man's man.
Pay me. I'll pay you.
I'll pay you. But
write good music.
Make good music, please. So with that being said, we gave you a mixed bag. We gave you just 3 passionate dudes who are uncaged, as this fine show and program is titled, talking about music. And Robert Davis, thank you so very much for coming on this edition with us. We truly appreciate you doing this with us.
Happy to allow my insight into the world of music.
And the composition, not the expedition, but the composition.
Yes.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
Wonderful. Now, in our next episode, folks, and I will say this because Daniel is making me watch a certain pay-per-view for our episodes 4 and 5, respectively. We're going to watch WrestleMania 36 back and talk about both night 1 and 2. Yeah, we're going back to COVID times. We're going to do that because Daniel said watch that. Well, I am giving something for Daniel to watch in our next episode. And Robert, you may also appreciate this as well. So WWE, this is the good thing we'll mention. WWE Vault and NXT, the YouTube channels give us the full episodes from back in the day and classic moments and stuff. But Dan, we're going to watch the 15-year anniversary of the debut edition of NXT Season 1, which was main evented by Chris Jericho, the then World Heavyweight Champion, against Daniel Bryan. It was probably the only good match on that flippin' debut show. But we're going to go back and watch the rookies and the end of ECW on Sci-Fi to the debut edition of NXT. Daniel, we're going to be wild and young in the next episode. We're going to be wild and young.
I wish.
Yeah. On that note.
Now I'm tame and old.
Yeah, Mr. Daniel Kermans. All right, so next episode.
Daniel is the learning tree.
I am the learning tree.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. So with that being said,
We'll pay you.
We'll pay you, and we'll definitely tune into episode 3 of season 5. We're gonna go back to the old school NXT 15 years later. It's only 46 minutes, Dan, so we're not. It's not that long. It's only 46 minutes. It's okay.
That's what she said.
Anyway, before we close this out, let's go to our guest first. Robert Davis, where can we follow you on the socials? All the links will be in the description. Floor is yours. Yeah, my good sir.
So here we go. We got deep into the heart of wrestling that I do with my good buddy over there, Michael Larkin, and my demon sister, the demoness, Nicola McDonald. Shout out to you. Over on the deep into the heart of wrestling over on Mike's YouTube, you can check us out at linktree/blackheartsebd3. We may even have a Blue Sky up by the time you read this, or whatever the hell it's called now.
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky. Yeah, Blue Sky. But you can check out our episodes there. We just recently did a predictions. For Royal Rumble. We will be having one. Don't we got something coming up?
Well, next week is Elimination Chamber, and we got our boy Beer. We got our boy Beer coming on.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to say this before you finish. Beer, set your alarm. Jackass. I'm kidding. Yeet.
Yes, like Mike said, our good friend Beer from the Max Wrestling Podcast will be joining us to do predictions, and hopefully he will be awake this time. Because we had a lot of fun during the last show, and we want our friend Beer to have some fun with us,
as we all do.
Over on Mike's YouTube page, Kicking It with the TSK over on the Max Wrestling YouTube. You can come check us out. We will probably be doing a review of the Elimination Chamber, where you can catch myself, Mr. Daniel Crimmins, El Jefe, our host, Moses Marquez, and Brother Harold doing TSK things. If you want to come look for me, Linktree/Hey, I'm Rob. I'm definitely open to talk about music and sour sauce and other things. So, and I'll even say this right here. If you need a theme song for your podcast, if you need a theme song for, walking into work in the morning, come hit me up. Linktree/Hey, I'm Rob. Let's talk.
All right. And Daniel Crimmins, where can we follow you? The floor is yours. Talk about that pile driver pundit, boy.
Gordon, this weekend, work's slowing down a bit, so that's a good thing. I can actually not as exhausted as I can actually do shit. As Robert mentioned, we got Kicking It with the TSK. We are gonna be cooking. We're gonna be cooking up some goodness for all the children of the world. They're gonna be enjoying the Elimination Chamber. Which, fun fact, in other countries, it's not known as Elimination Chamber.
What is it? No Escape or something like that?
Yeah.
God.
In Germany, they call it No Escape.
Oh, God.
Oh,
God.
Of all places.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Because you're calling it the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. So follow Dan. Links will be in the description. Jesus, good God almighty. If you want to follow yours truly, SM Show 1 or MCL92 on the Twitter, StephenMikeShow.com, LFCfights.com, Instagram. Hi, Steve. LFC. Damn you.
Not ICP.
Not ICP. Larkin_92 and FLarkinMB on Instagram. This fine YouTube channel featuring that face, both Daniel Crimmins and Robert Davis. For Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling, Uncaged, the weekly review, which Dan, you and I and Paul will be recording this weekend in our weekly review chat. We look forward to that and give it.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. So we got that.
We'll pay you.
We'll pay you. We got the LFC podcast, but check out the latest one with this one over here. Robert Davis and I watching back Selena versus Katie Forbes from LFC 31 and LFC 37.
Fantastic.
Oh, my goodness.
Good stuff.
And the Steve and Mike show and On the Mic with Mike and the LFC podcast. More goodness coming from you. And we appreciate each and every one of you because over 1,150 plus. Let's keep it rising up with these subscriptions and the likes and the comments. We appreciate the interaction with this one over here and this one over here. My boys. I love you guys. So with that being said, for Robert Davis, for Daniel Crimmins, this concludes episode 2 of Uncaged of season 5. We'll be back talking about NXT in episode 3 with my main man, Daniel Crimmins. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes Uncaged. We'll see you in the next episode. And of course, one last thing before we go. 1, 2, 3. Say it with me, guys. I'll pay you!